Yeah.
I think you have McTominay.
No, McTominay needs to leave that club.
You have You want McTominay
McTominay
out?
has to leave as soon as possible. He's
You-
playing shadow football. Shadow football. He needs to leave. Shadow football means you don't necessarily see his impact in games. Even in the FA Cup final, we could not even see what he was actually doing.
But it's most of the time. We are going to talk about the tactical part of the new signings, but
Yeah.
I want to ask, where do you think Manchester United needs strengthening? Because we are looking at these are good signing, but for me, I'm looking at it that you can't compete with Man City, Arsenal, Liverpool with these players, young players like this. There should be something concrete you are bringing into the team. So, what other places do you think Manchester United can work on to make them title contenders or maybe top 4 contenders?
Yeah, I think we need in an ideal world, if we could get everything we wanted, I would say we need 2 more centre backs.
Really?
Yeah, because I believe Maguire is not it. We know that. We know
You're not
that.
in a good mood. Why banter?
Maguire is not it. We know that. A good defender, but it's not Manchester United level.
Maybe
And
it's for West Ham
or Fulham or the like. So, and then I think Victor Lindelof needs to leave that club as soon as possible.
Wow.
So he needs to do that. So we need to, in an ideal world, we could get 2, if we could get everything we wanted, 2 centre backs. And I think the likes of Delete, the likes of Brett White, if it comes at a very good price, we can go for them. Then I think you need a right back. Or I should actually said before we started recording, that we will get a utility player. I think it's a good one. If you can get,
I think Man U need that also.
A player that can play both left and right, I think it'd be good for, because when you look at what the likes of Lenny Euro brings to Manchester United, he's someone that has the ability to defend his position, but also move forward in that right hand side, to spread out and move forward in that right hand side. And so you need the right back there to be someone that's very progressive.
Yeah.
And I think Dalot can do that for us. Very progressive, can give us that attacking dimension. But I think, sorry to say, but I think Bissaka, even though I believe he's the best 1v1 defender in Premier League, but I think when it comes to progressive movements, it's not really that it.
I love Bissaka, but so sad.
Yeah, I love him also, but I think
So
looking
sad.
at what the team needs, I think we need a much more progressive right back. So I think right back. Then to the midfield, I think we need 2 more midfielders. 2 more midfielders. I think we need.
Really?
Yeah.
I think you have McTominay.
No, McTominay needs to leave that club.
You have You want McTominay out?
McTominay has to leave as soon as possible. He's playing shadow football. Shadow football. He needs to leave. Shadow football means you don't necessarily see his impact in games. Even in the FA Cup final, we could not even see what he was actually doing.
But it's most of the time
He doesn't mark again. It was during Mourinho's time was marking. He doesn't mark again. The only thing McTominay does now is to give us that sudden goal. I know some people might be saying, let's keep him for maybe a super sub, but we don't really need that kind of. Let's sell him. But I think Manchester United needs to sell McTominay.
So McTominay, Casemiro should leave.
Casemiro should be the first exit in that midfield position.
Okay. Well,
Casemiro is done.
What about a player like Sofre? Okay, maybe we are going to talk about that when we are doing the tactical discussion. Now, I want to ask, what about midfielder do you want Manchester United to bring on board?
I think we need 2 midfielders of different profiles that can play in a double pivot. So already now, looking at it now, I believe we need a replacement for Casemiro.
Okay.
I'm hearing talks from reliable sources that Man United are in discussions about Ugarte. I think Ugarte is a replacement for Casemiro and adds a little bit much more than what Casemiro had in terms of Ugate's composure of the ball on the ball. Is far better than what Casemiro does. Okay. Casemiro plays like as if he's holding Otiam in his legs. That's just reality. So when the ball reaches him like this, and for a team that wants to go for, your 6 must be the most composed. Your 6 and your 2 defenders, that triangle of your 6
and your player like Rodri
composed on the ball, clear-headed, to be able to know where to pass the ball and control the game. So I think Man United we need someone like Ugarte. Ugarte is still more composed on the ball. Yes, he doesn't give us that progressiveness so much as what other people like Rodri would give Man City. So that's the reason why I think we need someone that can act as a replacement also for Kobe Mainoo. I think we're looking at Kobe Mainoo is amazing, but I also understand that there's a second season syndrome.
Okay.
Yes, second season syndrome.
And he played so much last season.
He played so much last season, the Euros and everything. So, and it's not as if he just went to the Euros for show. He played to the final. So I believe the fatigue and even injuries is a possibility you don't want to rule out. So we need another person that can play as an eight, that Kobe does. So I think you get that with the likes of Toby Coyler coming in, so you can have Ugarte, Kobe Coyler dragging for a particular position.
Okay.
You have Kobe Mino and maybe Zubimendi or whoever one they want to, maybe Rabiot, whoever they go for.
Getting in, really,
or maybe Amrabat if they decide to later go for him. Then Mount and Bruno.
Getting two defensive midfielder or six can be too expensive for Manchester United.
We need it.
Because I'm looking at now. Let's not talk about Sophia Amrabat. From a reliable source, we heard that they are not signing him anymore. Now, and why is it that players that he loves Manchester United so much, while all of a sudden that Manchester United said no, they don't want him? Is it that they have the amount of money that can bring player like Zimendi or what you call him? These are players that are expensive. Ugarte also is expensive because I'm seeing the PSGs that are not playing balls. So bringing two players like that, that's probably going to 100 million euros. That's expensive for Manchester United.
It's what we need. It's what we need really. If you want to contend for it, if it's just top four you want, you can just bring one of them. But if you really want to contend for the Premier League, if you really want to win the Europa League, I think you need those two. So because you cannot expect Kobe Mino to play that number of games.
Okay.
And Eriksen is not it. Eriksen, with due respect, very intelligent player, but based on last season, the legs are gone. You need this. So I believe they should close their eyes and invest.
Okay, investment, all about investment. Yeah. What about your striking, your wingers? You are cool with the wingers?
I think the wingers, Ahmad is the top. Ahmad should be. Should be. Ten Hag needs to get should be, because Ten Hag can come up with a lot of, because he wants to play like Marcus Rashford. He might want to now use Garnacho on the right and now put Ahmad. Ten Hag, Ahmad should be your top choice right winger.
Awesome player.
Then I believe the likes of Garnacho should be your first choice left winger.
I think I love the angle of having too much of competition in both sides. Yeah. Now that Sancho is back, exactly. Sancho is a player that can cut in. Yeah. Ahmad love to cut in or even can square play. Yeah. I think there'll be a lot of headache for Ten Hag. Yeah. Now, with the player you have now, we know you are going to do more business. Manchester United are going to do more business. Yeah. So tactically, what do you think Ten Hag formation should be next season? Because we are looking at a team that should be contending for top four, if possible, top four next season, or getting to the Europa semi-final, final, or winning the Europa. So my question is it, what type of information do you think, information or tactical information you want your coach to do next season?
Yeah, I think beginning of last season, Ten Hag tried to use a single pivot in person of Casemiro and then play 2-8. I think he tried that, but it ended up not working for him. I think Arsenal tried that and it ended up working for them. Okay. In terms of the likes of Rice, then they use Havertz and they use Odegaard. It ended up working for them, but it did not work out for Manchester United in the sense of Casemiro was not the Casemiro of the first season. Okay. And so that's why I said we had a lot of exposure when on the transition. Okay. So I believe this season Ten Hag should stick with what worked for him in Ajax. In Ajax, he used a double pivot of Frankie de Jong and Lasse Schöne. So I believe he should go with that double pivot in person of, if they get to Gate or wherever person they get, with Kobe Mino in a double pivot. Then I think also he also has now, based on the challenges of last season, he has now unlocked a new formation, which is the 4-2-2-2.
I think that 4-2-2-2 was Rangnick formation.
Was Rangnick's formation.
Rangnick locked that formation.
But because the players he had were not serious players and they could not just execute it. So I believe he also has that new formation of 4-2-2-2.
That's like 4-4-2 diamond. 4-4-2 diamond.
So with the likes of Bruno as a false nine, Bruno. So even Zegzi now can play that false nine. So I believe he has now more in his locker. And I also want to think that Ten Hag needs to be much more tactical, flexible in terms of if you are able to get the likes of Delete into Manchester United, you can use a three at the back.
That would be defensive.
Three at the back. No, three at the back so that you can have
two flying
two
midfield.
flying wingers.
But
You can have
that-
Shaw, you can have Dalot doing work there for Anthony
well,
Group.
really, that means
I can-
the wingers have to suffer for that.
The wingers can suffer for that because the kind of number of games that Garnacho played last season was so much.
Okay.
The number of games Garnacho played last season was so much.
Okay.
The number of games that what do you call it? The Rashford played in the first season was so much. So you need to rest these wingers for certain games. So try if you can able to get someone like Delete. So Delete could be in the center. You have Martinez at the left. You have Yoru at the right.
Okay.
Then you can use maybe Kobe Mino, Ugarte. Then you can use Bruno. Use Shaw. Use Dalot. You understand? That's now 5 there. Abi?
Yeah, that's 5. That's like defensive football.
That's 5 there. Then you can use 3-5-2. You can use maybe Rasmus Højlund and Zexi.
Someone have to be the poor guy.
Yeah. So
Okay.
Or you can even use Rasmus Højlund and Rashford. Rashford can still play in that kind of maybe free role.
We are still going to do more of transfer talk about Manchester United. Now, I just want to ask you one more question. If Manchester United end up not signing any more player, do you think they are okay for the season?
It's a disaster. We need more.
We need more.
We need more.
All right. All right, guys. Thank you so much. My take on this is that I have no take. I have no take. So, but we are going to do a lot of player profiling. We are going to do player profiling about so many players, Arsenal new signings. Just check out our YouTube channel for more player profile. This new concept that we started with, and we know that you are going to enjoy it. Till we meet again, stay glued on this. Subscribe. Do whatever you want to do, whatever you love it. Comment, please.
Subscribe,
like,
comment.
in fact, criticize us.
Share.
We love that.
Yeah.
Share it, and we see you another time. Thank you, and bye bye.